Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Friday, big Friday today. We're happy to have someone from Welcome to Wrexham on. He's been a longtime supporter of Wrexham. He's also a great guy. I've been following him on his feed and everything. So we're really, really happy to get his perspective on the ground about Wrexham football. So we're really, really lucky to have him. So thank you, Mr. SHAUN Winter. Thank you for coming on.
Really appreciate it. And thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's nice to, we've been watching the show and seeing your reactions to everything with the club. So it's really cool to have you and to get a real, on the ground perspective of what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So I always kick a show off with an origin story about you and yourself and how you found football and everything. Tell us about yourself and we'll go from there.
So I first went to watch Wrexham in 1992. It was not long after we beat Arsenal. A few games after, I went with my dad, and I just got a bug from there. It was the smell of the program. That was, I don't know. I can kind of smell the air now. Still, it was. I just got a bug. My dad took me to the pub first. Kind of what I do with my kids, and not in years gone by. He took me to the pub first, and then we walked down. And I just found it all magic because I was into football. It's all I used to have a goal post or I used to kick the ball against the wall all day, every day. And it's kind of been my life. And then he took me to Wrexham. And that was it. I got the bug and I wanted to go all the time. And it got that bad with me that as a 5-year-old going on 6, when Wrexham were playing away or if I wasn't at the game, I'd have Radio Wales on and I'd be tuning the old radios in just so I could listen to commentary. And I do kick-ups in my bedroom with a balloon, listening to Wrexham on the radio. It's mind-blowing, really. To think to where we are now, it's just I still can't quite believe it, if I'm honest.
Really? Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it seems
seriously. It's honestly, and I mean this. I truly mean it because, as people will know if you watch the show, I don't mince my words. It's still now. I think it's incredible. It's incredible, and I mean, we've just had the new stand built, haven't we? So we now get 12,000 and something people, and it's just getting that regular. That's never happened in my lifetime. I've seen big crowds like on big games, FA Cup games, or we've had 15,000, but not like this regular. This is not since I've been alive. This has not happened. Yeah. So it's phenomenal.
I don't think anyone could have fathomed what the progression could have been. It's a dream scenario. I would say, and watching it's amazing to see, but those early days, when you were watching football, were you going regularly? Were you going home and away with your old man, or how was that working?
I was going home. Every home game. I say every home game. No, it wasn't every home game. I was going a lot. I say the Saturday games I was doing. I wasn't going in the week, and that's kind of. Like I take Charlie in the week now to night games, but I didn't until he was probably up until a couple of years ago, to be honest, his first night game. Lenny's only been to one night game. But no, when I was going on the Saturdays, I think near enough every Saturday game I'd be there with my dad, and I just loved it. And I can never fathom. Like I used to get laughed at a lot in school for supporting Wrexham because. You got to remember, because we're close to Manchester, we're close to Liverpool, and these teams were, well, obviously they're massive teams, and they were winning things. So, Wrexham were Division 2 when I started supporting them. So it was just, it was crackers. Oh, sorry, no, they went. They were Division 3, in fact. Yeah. Which is kind of the equivalent we are now. So I go into school with Wrexham shirts on or kits and I was kind of one of the only ones, It wasn't like supporting Wrexham now is a bit of a trend because of the telly program and it's magic to see like kids in football in Wrexham shirts, and it's just it's magic. But like my kids now, they idolise the players, but I used to idolise those players when I was young. So it's brilliant. It's mind blowing. But yeah, I say every Saturday every other Saturday I was there.
Were you born in Wrexham? Like in reference to how far you are from the racecourse? Were you born in Wrexham, or did you guys move there?
No. I'm born in Wrexham. Wrexham Minor Hospital is probably 5-minute walk to the racecourse ground.
Oh, wow.
5, so yeah. 10 minutes possibly. But yeah, no, and it's just ingrained in me, Wrexham, I'd say, and it's sometimes you get people, and there's a lot of them in this town, who are just passionate about where they come from, and there's lots of people like that in this town. There really is, and you get others that aren't really bothered. Well, I'm one of those people who are really passionate about where I come from, and I've got a lot of pride in this place, and it's so nice that the rest of the world's kind of got pride in us as well. It's lovely.
No, that's nice to say. And I grew up in a small town too, and nothing like what I'm seeing over for Wrexham. It's like we had a small town, we had pride for my town, but it wasn't like this. And now it's global. But it's got to really mean something to the people in the town, not just about the football. And that's what I think comes through with the club and what we get to Rob and Ryan and everything like that. What it means to like advance. Just everybody. It feels like everyone's getting a lift, like the rising tide. Is that the effect that you're seeing?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. You couldn't have put it any better, to be honest. I speak if I'm in Wrexham for anything, I kind of do the rounds. I go and see Rob in the DVD shop. I go and see Tappy, all the local, and I go have a cup of teas with people. I'll be speak like this. And yeah, you really drove home the point there, because everything's got a lift. I mean, Wayne. Even when I'm not, I like to try and stay off the beer these days. But I'll go in the turf just to see Wayne, and I'll have a water and just to. And we talk regularly. It's crazy, but the whole place has had a lift. I mean, when Wrexham play on a Saturday now, it's a knock-on effect. I mean, you can't get in the turf, you can't get in the bars or around the ground. I mean, it's very rare I even bother. Anymore, but it's great. And if Wrexham win, the whole town's got a lift, and it's got to the point now where we kind of expect Wrexham to win, where that's never really been the case since I've been going.
Yeah, it's tough being the one that everyone's, and I talk about it on our show all the time. You're going to get everyone's best effort every single time because of what's going on, whether it be jealousy or things like that. But you guys handle it very well.
But what you've got to remember is they're getting our best effort, because these get what this is what I'm super proud of now. I'm super proud of the players on that pitch, the manager in charge, because I get the feeling they'd run through brick walls for him. Yeah, they just, I mean, Wrexham, we were 1-0 down the other day, but the effort and I don't think you can fault them. So yes, people seem to come here and it's their main game of the season, and yes, they're going to give everything they've got. But you better believe that we're giving everything we've got as well. And normally that's enough to get us over the line.
Yeah, heads don't drop in that side. Never. You go down a man, something goes wrong. They seem to have almost like a superpower. It's like, okay, we can get through anything. And I think that's what, from following the team for the last, I think 4 years I've been following the team.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah, you kind of see that. So, it's definitely ingrained in other clubs, like you mentioned, like the Manchester Uniteds and Liverpool's, like, they're so toxic and the environment's so toxic. And what I think is so beautiful is that like everything is on the pitch and off the pitch is like really positive, moving things forward. I think that is incredible. You don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm big on positivity. I'm massive. I think I mean, you do get football fans. You get football fans who think if they've got the right to say they should be doing this, should be doing that, and it baffles me on occasion. But what Wrexham are doing is that they've got something very special in that changing room. You can tell that. You can tell for the manager. I mean, I speak to people in and around the club, and they can't speak highly enough of the whole setup, the players, the manager, everyone, and that just it transcends. I mean, the fans buy into it. It's a special place to be, the racecourse ground, when Wrexham are playing. It really is, and I'm super proud of it. I really, really am.
I can't wait to get there. I will hopefully try to get over there early this year. You mentioned Wayne. I met Wayne in San Diego. He was on our show. We interviewed him and Humphrey Kerr, both brilliant guys. But Wayne just had this genuine, you could tell, just genuine feeling about him. And I think, that like yourself, passionate, cares about it. And, and when I was at the game, there were more Wrexham fans than there were Manchester United fans, which I thought was really impressive. So they guys travel really well.
I saw that. I honestly, I really want to come to America. It's something I'd love to do. And funny enough, I was talking about that trip with Wayne, and you said he's a genuine guy. He's a very, very. You don't get much more genuine than Wayne. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've seen he does stuff for charity and that, and he's been doing that for as long as I've known him. You know, he's a real genuine guy, and Wayne's always had this sound's interest at heart, and that's why I like him so much. But yeah, it's special.
Yeah, it comes through. Like I said, I'm someone who's here, you know, in 8 hours, you know, what is it? I don't know, 8 hours away behind you guys, and you know, whatever, 10, 12,000 miles. It comes through on the screen, and I think that's what's really impressive. And on the pitch, you guys are doing so well. And even getting set back, not going up that first year, incredible. Taking back to last year on that run, going up against Notts County that whole season, what was that like?
Absolutely incredible. I've got my washing machine in the background. I hope you can't hear it too much.
Okay.
I just thought absolutely incredible. And full credit to Notts County. I mean, we wouldn't have got that points tally if it wasn't for Notts County. I'll tell you that right now. They pushed us so hard, and they were such a magnificent side, but it just brought out the best in Wrexham. And I'll never forget this. My friend Ran from Teach Me How to Wrexham podcast, I think it is. Okay. He came over, and I didn't have a ticket for that game. I couldn't get a ticket for love nor money, and his girlfriend Anna, she gave me a ticket, and I wouldn't. I said, no, this is for you, and she would not. She wouldn't have it. She made sure I went to that game because she said this means more to you. And I tried to offer her all sorts of money, and she just wouldn't have it. It was genuine, and that was probably a football match I remember on my dying day. That it was just special. But the whole season was, I mean, it was a roller coaster. This is what being a football fan's about.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a season. It was just, I mean, we ended on 111 points, which is just marvellous.
It's bonkers. I think 111 points. You know, you're right. I think they pushed you, and I'm actually really happy that they went up too, even though they just lost their manager.
Oh yeah, I'm really, really happy. I mean, I see some Wrexham fans now, or I think they try and make a bit more of the rivalry than what's actually there. You know, we were rivals for that season, but yeah, no, they're a great side, and I was cheering them on to come up with us. I really was.
Me too. It should have been that way, you know. And that's a tough, like you said, the 15 years you guys are there. It's a tough league. The top two go up, you know. Like it's so difficult, you know. Yeah. In this league, going in league two we're at, the top three go up automatically. So touch wood, and we can talk about that a little later. But you know, it's not getting out of that league. It's just it must have felt just an elite.
I mean. You got to remember, 15 years. I mean, some of the grounds we were better. I'm not. This is no disrespect to grounds I've been to or team, you know, but I think we thought we were entitled to get out of that league straight away because Wrexham were a big club. We were a well-established football league club, you know, and I think we kind of thought we should be going to you and we should be rolling teams over, but nothing gives you the right in that league, and we soon came back down to earth when we got there. And we've been close so many years in the playoffs. I've been to playoff finals. It's just my heart's been broken so many times. I think you heard it on the documentary when I was kind of reciting. I was reciting all the bad memories. But I mean, we got there, and I was a big believer in. I didn't want to do it for the playoffs. I wanted to go and win the league, and I thought we should have gone and done it properly. And well, we did it spectacular in the end, didn't we?
The Fozzie save. Against not, it was one of the best things I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Never seen anything. I honestly, he gave the penalty now, and I'm in the front. I'm right in the front now, and I didn't watch the penalty out of my head on the advertising board because I couldn't take it. I was a wreck. Yeah, I was an absolute wreck. And then all of a sudden, I heard that everyone go nuts behind me, and everyone jumped on my back. And then you might have seen that video, and I've just gone mad, haven't I? Because I was doing vlogs at the time. Yeah. So, and then I burst into tears because it was that realization that, this is it. I thought when that happened, I thought we've won it, and it was quite a special moment for me because I got a friend Gav, Big Gav. I've been going to the match with him for
I don't know, maybe 20 years, over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I look where I was in the bottom of the second, and I looked up to where he'd be, and I thought he'll be in bits here. And he didn't see me, but I seen him, and he had floods of tears coming down, and I just thought, because we've seen it all together, and I looked up and I just thought, this is magic. I thought this is magic, and then obviously, and then when we had the Boreham Wood game to actually win it,
yeah,
I had Charlie with me, and my boy with me, and it was just that game. I couldn't take it in. I didn't take it in till the next day. I mean, I had Charlie on my shoulders on the pitch, and it was special. You know, it's memories I'll always have with him. And it was just a special few weeks. I mean, I went to the Halifax game on the Bank Holiday Sunday where we lost 3-1. I thought, oh no. I thought, oh no. And then you're thinking, this is typical Wrexham.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I thought, oh no, please not again. And it's at that point you're thinking, like, are we cursed? I thought, come on. Yeah, I like a laugh and a joke as much as the next person, but the gods are taking the mick now. And then we 1-0 down at half time, aren't we, to Notts County? But it was there. Wrexham were playing well. We were playing good. And we come out the second half and we just steamrolled them. It was incredible. And I don't think I've ever heard the racecourse ground that loud in my whole life.
I can imagine. It must have been just deafening, and just it's something and something like you said, you'll never forget having your son on your shoulders on the pitch. Like take those moments in, the smells, everything you talked about earlier. Like you'll never get, those things you just cherish, and it's amazing to get to be a part of it. And also too, and I wanted to bring this up too. It's recorded. You can see it, you can watch it happen, and it's it's something that you can always look back, and it's not just memory, something you can actually look toward.
That was a special thing with me. Sorry, that was a special thing with me actually doing the documentary. The first thing being they approached me, contrary to what some people think. I think I happened to be in the turf when they were doing some random filming, and they happened to speak to me, and then they give me the call, and then that's it. They met me, and they're like, "Listen, we want you on the show." So first things first, me getting approached was lovely. Mm-hmm. That meant a lot, and then to be part of my town's history, and it's something. When I have grandkids and what have you, I can always look back on and see, even the day when I'm not here, my kids can always be like, it's all recorded. So it's obviously the town's very special to me, but being part of its history on this fantastic documentary now, it's just it does mean an awful lot to me. It really does.
Yeah, and it definitely comes through, and like the passion, and like you said, it's just like. It's important, and you feel that it's important. When they approached you, and now let's just was it something like I was a little, because you could see that people were hesitant with Rob and Ryan. I saw that we watched the process happen. Were you speculating?
No, I was all in. I was all in. I mean, you've got to remember. I mean, you've seen on the first series, I had one or two things to say about the way the club was being run, and I knew a lot that people didn't know. And I didn't cover myself in glory. I'll be the first to admit that. And things came out wrong. But when it came to Ryan and Rob, I think most of it, we all were. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the scene where we let off fireworks and what have you. Yes. We were just, I mean, it was crazy because first I was told as Americans when they buy the club, I thought, brilliant. Bear in mind, I didn't know it was Ryan Reynolds, Rob Mack. I didn't have a clue. It was brilliant. Because we were never, ever going to go anywhere being run the way we were. And that's no disrespect to the Trust, by the way, because I was part of the Trust. But all the fans were.
Yep.
Listen, save this football club, fantastic. But we were stagnant under it. And we may have lost the club in the end after the COVID. But Rob and Ryan come, but we didn't know it was them. And then when we did hear Ryan Reynolds, I thought, oh, come on. I thought, off. And then when it was them, I'm just like, this is bizarre. This is fantastic. But I mean, look, their passion and their hearts are just. I mean, I've been lucky enough to meet them. Yeah. And especially Rob. I've got to say, Rob, just one real tenacious guy. And when he talks to you, I mean, I'm a passionate man, and I come across passionate. I speak with passion. Rob McElhenney is exactly the same. He's so passionate. Yeah. And the minute I spoke to him, I thought, I got goosebumps now thinking, this man means it. And Ryan as well, you know, I mean, they fall in love with the sound, haven't they? They just, but people all over the world have, which is crazy for us.
It's infectious. You know, and Rob McElhenney is like is one of my idols. I've been following him since he started Always Sunny. He's like one of the hardest working guys, and it's why I've never met him before, but you know, I've always watched his career. I'm like, that guy like works his ass off, and you know, his story is amazing. And you know, and Ryan also too, really talented. Seems like a great guy. Never met either one of them, but you know, Rob McElhenney to me is one of the hardest working guys out there. And so
yeah, well, I think they both are. I mean, they both don't stop, do they? And credit to, I'm one of these people that when people have got what they've got in life, well, it's down to them and no one else. So you know, I'm one of these people that like to see people have things because I know how hard they've worked for them. Mm-hmm. And that mentality. Someone said to me once, when you have the right owners at a football club, it transcends down. When it's been run right at the top, it transcends down. And by gosh, that is the truest statement I've ever heard, because these guys have just come in. They're not professed to know anything about football, but they get people in who do know about football, and it just filters down, and it's incredible. And you see about Rob McElhenney, I've got so much respect for the guy. Both of them, I really do. Both genuine, lovely guys that's turned the fortunes of not only this football club but this town around. It's magnificent.
I had a brief conversation with Humphrey over the summer as well, and talked to him for 5 minutes, and him too. Just the passion. They understand like what it means to the town and the football, and it's like, hey, this is what we don't know, so let's get people that do know the right thing to do. And you know,
you're right.
They've done that. And I want to talk a little bit about Parkinson. You know, him coming in, you know, taking the helm. It's got to be magic. I mean, the way he speaks, I was just listening to his quotes for his pregame presser for the Shrewsbury game. And it's like, God, he gets it, man. He totally gets it.
He gets it. And, oh, God, he gets it. He's a fantastic manager. And this is another thing that bothers me sometimes. People will be like, well, there was a part in the documentary, and they're like, well, you didn't want. That's wrong. My comments were toward the trust again. It was nothing to do with that, because he was my man from the start. It was my friend. It didn't really want him there. But what a manager. What a manager. I mean, but like you've just said, he gets it. Oh, he gets it so much. Funnily enough, I'm working next to the ground at the moment, and I was walking past, and he's literally coming out in his car, and he put his thumb up, and I give it a fist like that. You know, he gets it. He gets it. He's a terrific manager. It's all well and good. People think, oh, well, Wrexham's got all this money. Listen, teams have had this money in the past.
Yeah, and
but it's how you spend that money. It's how you integrate the team. You know, listen. He's a fabulous manager, and he's probably the best manager I've ever seen in my 36 years. And that's a big statement, because I was a big fan of Brian Flynn and also Dennis Smith. I was massive fan of them. But Phil Parkinson he oozes class. He really does.
Yeah, and he never gets too high, never gets too low. Yes, he's passionate in the dressing room, but it's like they're never too high and never too low. And I think that's really how to like stay steady. You know, you're gonna get bumps and bruises on the way, but it's like, okay, like you said earlier, go through brick walls, and we'll be okay. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Even today, he was saying, he's like, you know, we have a match. We're playing against Shrewsbury, and they're in League One, and that's where we want to be. So you know, he's like thinking like, let's not think we're League Two, but that's where we want to.
Yeah.
Be toward. So.
It's like the Coventry game last year. Wrexham, let me tell you one thing. That team will not be thinking, oh, they're in a higher league than us. That mentality doesn't exist at Wrexham. That mentality is, right, let's get this game out of the way, let's beat these, and let's move on to the next round.
Yep, that's it. See
and that's the way. I think that's the way they all think. It's just, it really is. I mean, times like this, I never thought these times would come to Wrexham. I didn't. I was talking with my dad last week, and it's marvellous. I mean, listen, I struggled to be able to get tickets for me and both my boys.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change the situation for the world, because it's magnificent. Yeah. You know, it's so it's marvellous. It really is.
What do you think about the new cop going up? I know there's a temp in there, having the 4 sides, they call it the 4 walls, finally, what do you think that, for so long you guys haven't had that? What does that feel like?
It's great. It is. It's just to have fans back behind that goal. I mean, I spent my childhood on the original cop, on the cop. So it's just great. And I mean, just to have 4 sides of the ground again, and it's boosted the atmosphere again, which is, we've got an impressive atmosphere as it is. Mm-hmm. So it's just brilliant. And I was thinking the other day, I was looking around the ground, and you just see improvements all the time. And Rob and Ryan, true to their word, it's just what they're delivering, isn't it? Improvements to the ground, but they're working hard to get this new cop done. So it's fantastic, really is.
So speaking of that, obviously it's been full. We have a game on the weekend. What do you think about the season so far? This season, obviously I was at the game when Mullis was hurt, and then going into the early part of it, Elliot Lee was doing great, and I think Gio is fantastic in the middle. Okonkwo's who's fantastic. What do you think about this season so far? And you never want to jinx anything. We had a long way to go, but what are you thinking?
I'm so impressed with him. I mean, coming off the back of the US tour, we looked a bit leggy. We didn't look at the races. I was at the first game of the season with both my boys, funnily enough, mm-hmm. And I thought, oh God, battles are good. And I thought, are we going to find it something unexpected? But once we got a couple of wins together, we've been so impressive. So impressive because I'm yet to see a team outwork us.
Yeah.
I mean, crew, we were 3-1 down. I mean, with 10 men, we got to 3-3. If the game would have gone any further, we would have won it. Mm-hmm. What were we, 4-1 down or something like that at half-time against Swindon, 5-5. It's just... That
was a bonkers game. I remember it's a bonkers game. The only game I thought we looked just not like ourselves was the Walsall. Was it the Walsall game? Right?
No, Walsall recently. You're right, but then at the same time, I mean, what people don't get sometimes is obviously we had illness, we had injury at Swindon, and so those 11 players, they've had to play a lot of games in a short space of time. And fair play to Walsall. I think we got to give credit to them. They come at Wrexham and they wanted to do a job. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we didn't look up quite at the races. But then what I am very impressed with is you never get 2 bad performances on the bounce with Wrexham.
No, they bounce right back. Shake it off. That's what we said.
And someone told me a stat which I didn't know. Under Phil Parkinson, we've never lost 2 back-to-back league games, which is pretty impressive because we always bounce back. And I knew we would. We went 1-0 down against Barrow.
Yeah.
But I said to my boys, it's coming. Don't worry. We'll have this game.
That was a bonkers game. I've never seen anything like that. The stoppages,
crazy.
Come back. And
crazy.
But things like that, I've been following Manchester United. I make no mistake about it. Like I've been following Manchester United for the last 20 years. Okay, and
sorry to stop you, but I mean, if people say who's your Premier League team, I've got a fondness of Man United. But this is how I say to people. So if Man United get beat 10-0, I don't really bat an eyelid.
No.
If Wrexham loses, no point speaking to me. You know what I mean? I support Wrexham, but I've got a fondness of Man United, and I hide that from no one. But Wrexham's my team.
Yeah. And then there's something to that. And everyone's like, oh, you never change your club. And yeah, like I started watching this, like I said, watching the club because, I'm a fan of Rob's. And I was going through some things with my cat who had cancer. And like we would sit early in the morning. And I was watching I follow. And it's like, it was something we did together while he was going through his chemo treatment. So it was like something important to me. And it just kind of grew on me, and like the story. Yeah. Wow. And then I got involved a little bit with Sheffield FC, a great team down there as well. Another lower league team that I talk to pretty regularly. Ryan Cresswell is the manager, and just the passion that it like, there's like, okay, there's, they say the hope that kills you, from Ted Lasso, but it's like there is positive hope. It's like we can get. But you're right. Manchester United gets beat 10-0. Everyone's pissing and moaning about it on TalkSport and all the other channels. Like it doesn't really mean anything because it's all just a big business. This is more about.
Yeah, that's right. This is. I mean, my granddad. His ashes are on the pitch, and he never missed a Wrexham game. But he died when I was 6 in a car crash. But he would. I mean, like people say, I was robbed from because he would have took me everywhere. But sometimes they say it skips a generation, and they just say you are your granddad, basically. But it was ingrained in him. My dad, he absolutely loves it. Not like me. He's not as passionate as me, but he loves Wrexham. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But whereas I've got it from my granddad, where it's everything to me.
Yep.
And I love that. And like you've just alluded to there, Manchester United, it's a big business. I don't watch Premier League football. I can't stand the diving. I can't stand some of the pundits. I can't. It's meaningless. Premier League. When I was a child, it wasn't so much that, because I watched any football on the telly, whether it be English, Welsh, Italian. I'd watch everything. But football's changed so much, and too many people have got involved that shouldn't have got involved. And it's just, I don't feel that buzz for the Premier League like I used to. But whereas Wrexham, it'll never leave me.
Yeah, and I don't think I think that's something that's really special. It's like it means more than just like, oh, we got a W and whatever. This is almost like I said, having something with your kids and having something to like pass it on to. I think there's something more to that than the Premier League football. So I totally get it. On that note, what else? I had a couple of notes here. So yeah, do you want to talk about this weekend going into Shrewsbury? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think we beat them. I think Wrexham beat them. I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay.
It'll be their close rival. I think next to Chester, they're our nearest main rival, them and Tranmere. So there'll be a lot of animosity in the air. It'll be a bit of hatred in the air. It'll be a proper cup tie. I know that. I won't be surprised if they come and take the butt. Listen, that Red Army will be in magnificent voice. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Then players will be up for it. They would have had a good rest. They last played Monday, up until Sunday. So we've had time to rest. They'll be right at it. Wrexham will, and I can't see past the Wrexham win, and I mean that. I really mean it.
Yeah, well, even a little more spice. I don't know if you saw yesterday what Tommy Flanagan was saying. It's like, well, they're the League Two. They're a League Two side. We're the League One side. So they're coming here. We beat League Two teams. So adding a little bit more spice to it, But
yeah. But I like that. I like that. I mean, I've got you obviously know Tommy Couse. He does some stuff for the Men in Blazers and what have you. And Tom's great with all the band. I don't really get involved in stuff like that, I says it, but Tom's fantastic with it, And I've seen a few things from Shrewsbury fans. I thought fair play, it's part and parcel, I mean, years ago, I probably would have said I had a hatred for him, but I think I've grown up a lot now, and I've kind of I work on myself a lot, so I think those days are past me. So I see the funny side of things now.
Yeah.
But that does not mean I think they've got a chance against us.
Yeah. Anything a win is great, and it just adds to more what we're doing. I mean, I'm looking at they're in 13th place, and they've lost like 4 of the last 5, and great. It's a cup match, and anything can happen. But
and especially the FA Cup. What a competition, by the way! Yeah. It's the best competition in the world. It really is. We seen it last year, didn't we, with Wrexham? And I just. Anything can happen in a cup game. Anything can happen. I mean, you get unexpected results in every round.
Yeah. Oh, those Sheffield games last year, I was like,
crazy.
Oh my God. I thought
crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was at both. And I had Charlie at both. Yeah. And the first one, I had Charlie's face painted. I thought it was going to be in a documentary, but it wasn't, because I painted all his face, and because I remember when I was a kid in the FA Cup, and my dad painted my face, and we were letting balloons on, and it was so I kind of wanted to rekindle that. Yeah. And I did it with Charlie, and it was just, I remember we went 1-0 down, and I said to Charlie, so here comes the fight. I said, watch this fight. I said, I promise you. And then obviously Aaron Hayden goes off, Tunnicliffe. It was like, what's going on? But the fight, and that Wrexham mauled them. We mauled them.
Yeah.
We were absolutely. I was so proud. I mean, just so proud of that team, and I think I probably had tears coming from my eyes. I'm a real emotional man, and I said to Charlie, we had a couple of minutes. I said, let's go down the bottom. We're going on the pitch. He wouldn't have had any shot. I would have picked him up and over the barrier, son. Get on there.
Yeah.
And then they scored. It was just it was super proud. Yeah. But then I got to take Charlie to Bramall Lane, and that was Charlie's first away game.
Really?
But yeah, it was his first away game. He was 10. He was 10. He just turned 10. Yeah, his first away game. But what an away game to take him to. We went on the bus with our friend James and his son Archie, and it was just. It was great. I mean, we didn't get. We could have got the result there. I mean, Moles missed the penalty, and Wrexham were right at them, but it was just. But that's the FA Cup. It's magic, you know.
Yeah, giant killing cup. I mean, it was an amazing thing to watch. Like that's why I said, like you talked about the Premier League teams. Like yeah, you can win some and lose some. But it's like you still like it's like don't talk to me afterwards because it means something. You know, it's just fantastic to see. Really, really fantastic to see. And like I like the positivity. I like what's happening. You know.
That's what it's all about. Positivity in life. I mean, you might see me. I put up on Twitter now and again because I've been held back. God, and people like to say, "Oh, but do you know what? I got to a point in life where if I can make people smile, it's by being positive. Because there's so much negativity and people who criticize in this world, and people who think they have the right to go and criticize people or put people down. And if I can help people now, I'm going to make it my life's mission to put smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
And to be positive. And this is what I say to my boys, anyone around me, you know, positivity. It's what it's all about.
Yeah. Who's gonna fault you for being positive and trying to be happy? You know. Yeah. My wife always says, like, what if it all works out? Like in a good way. Like you worry about everything and gets down.
Yeah.
Like, what if it all works out?
I've had so much of my life where I've worried that I've been a bit of a handful in my time, you know. But like I've grown up and I see things in a different light these days. You know, I look back at the person I was. I'm like, I can't even recognise him anymore because I'm the type of person I don't want to help people. I want to encourage people. I just want to spread positivity. And for the life of me, I can't see why people tend to go the other way. You know.
And that's on them. And really, like I said, your passion does come through, and people have watched you the last, I think it's like 3 years, and and congrats to everything and all the success for Wrexham, and I want to thank you all for what you guys are doing and getting everyone else involved. So thank you and the rest of everybody there. It's really special.
I've got to tell you, it is wonderful for us. It's wonderful. I mean, to have. I mean, it's crazy. I bump into Americans all the time, and I love it. I mean, I love talking to people anyway, so it's great for me. But it's just, it's magnificent. I think someone quoted me yesterday in my inbox, and he said, a guy from Spain, I forget his name, or was it? I give him a shout out, and he said, I wanted to thank you because I've just started following Wrexham, and you say on the documentary, whether you've been watching for 5 minutes or you've been watching all your life, we're all in this together. And I truly mean that. From the bottom of my heart, I mean it. We're all in it together. You know, now you're a Wrexham fan. You're always going to be a Wrexham fan. Yeah,
and because you feel the passion. Hey, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. And we started doing the show about 6 months ago, and then some of the people that have come into like my life in this world are so great. So I'm meeting great people. I met you, and several other people that come on. So this is great. So
now that's a nice thing for me. I mean. Some of the messages I get from around the world are crazy, and I reply to every single one. I mean, even if someone gives me, I remember once I sat with Charlie and I had 2 messages, one really bad one, one nice one. And the really bad one, I just said, "Hey, enjoy your day, mate." Yeah. And the nice one, and I said to my son, "Which person would you rather be?" So I read them both to him because everything's a life lesson. But yeah, what I get to do now, like talking to you, for instance, I meet so many genuine, great people, and this is something I always say. I've got so many friends that I haven't met yet, and I just think it's great. And I think what 2 men have done, not only for Wrexham, but for this community they've built around the whole world, I just think it's magnificent. I think it's magic. Yeah. I mean. Years ago, when would me and you ever be talking like this? We wouldn't, would we? No. But because of what's happening, this isn't unusual anymore.
No, and you're right too. It's a thank you. It's like thank you guys for taking the interest and everyone else, and it's just it's flowed all around it. I think
definitely
really be proud of that. And fair play to everyone. I hope a lot of other clubs have this kind of.
So do I. Yeah. So do I. I truly do.
Yep, 100%. Last couple questions here. One, for the rest of the season, you think we have a chance to go up?
I think we win. I think we win the league. Yeah. You get ready to cut and paces or whatever you have to do, but we're going to win this. We're going to win it outright. I'm telling you now, Wrexham win it outright, and I think we win it by 3 or 4 points as well.
All right. Well, it's January 5th right now. I'm sure we'll have you on a couple more times by the end of the season. I'd love to have you.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah. And then lastly, what's next for you? In regards to football, obviously we have football and life and your kids and everything.
Well, I've got something extremely exciting, and it's going to be on Twitter soon. So I'm going to be in touch with you. Okay. I'm going to want a team in America. It's kind of my life's about to change completely. It's going to be something. It's going to get me out of painting. Yeah, it's just I cannot pull the trigger and say exactly right now, but maybe by the end of next week I'll be able to. And you think you're going to be seeing a lot of content, and a more business-like approach for me now, and it's all about. I'm very keen to change my life. As you see in the documentary, I do a lot of things that people don't see. I'm coaching not only Lenny's team, but I coach Charlie's team as well now.
That's great.
Which is magic, yeah. So I'm coaching 2 football teams. I've got this new venture about to kick off, which is going to be, I think it's going to take the world by storm. I really don't think it's going to be that big. And I just want to carry on, keep doing things like this. Hopefully I'm in season 3. That'll be great. And just continue on this path I'm on now, because I'm in a good place in life. I can only foresee good things. And I just want to carry on in this mindset. I want to try and do the whole of this year without having a drink. I did so large parts last year, but I've slipped on the odd occasion. I'm an honest man, and I don't mind saying that. So I want to try and do the whole year. See if I can do that one, and just continue on this path I'm on, because at the moment I'm quite a happy man at the moment.
Good. That's great. That's good to hear. And I really, whatever journey you're on, that's great. And whatever you're doing, obviously can't announce it now. If I can support and be there in any way, please let me know. I'm just
you'll be the first to hear. Let me tell you, I'm going to reach out straight away.
All right, fantastic. And like I said, whatever I can do to help, please let me know. And I always end it. Did you play football? And what position were you? That's how I usually like that.
So yeah, I played football. Believe it or not. So I was a decent player, and I got to have 6 weeks at Wrexham, and then they didn't want me, and then both Chester and Shrewsbury wanted me, and I ended. Yeah. This is pretty bad. So I ended up playing for Chester for God knows how many years when I was young, but I didn't quite make it. So I used to play centre midfield, and I used to play on the right wing. And I played for lots of teams since, played in Welsh leagues and what have you, but I can't play anymore. I can't even play vets football anymore because I just get injured straight away. My bones can't take it anymore.
Same here. I would love to go out and play. I play EAFC FIFA now because as soon as I go out, I get injured. I've just said I play squash with my friend Ben, and I've just taken a picture of. I just bought 2 ankle supports and a knee support, and I've sent him a picture, and he's like, "This is unbelievable." It's crazy. Get the rubbing on, and you're definitely gonna hurt.
That's it.
To be fair, that people that watch the show, I sneezed last couple weeks ago and I hurt my back. I had to go get. I mean, I'm getting old, and I don't. And the missus would be pissed if I was saying she'll probably see it. But I feel young. I'm getting old, but I feel young. So
I listen. I'm young in my head, but I think my body's a lot older than what I actually am. Let me tell you.
Yeah, some miles for sure. Well, it's really great meeting you. We have never met before, first time chatting, and fantastic. And best of luck, and hopefully we can have more conversations. And I'm really grateful for you to come on, and thank you.
100%. And anything I can do to get this channel a lot bigger, then let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, brilliant.
We'd love to have someone on the ground more often. We get really great.
Anytime. If I can help anyone, I will help them. And it's been a pleasure. It really has. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. All right, SHAUN Winters.
Thank you very much.